Righto folks, we're back. So we're back on this green bug here. The aim of the game is to get this thing rolling. We're kind of at a stage where we've chopped all the nastiest bits out, but there's still a lot to do on it. We've had a big week. At the car show on the weekend, met Bad Chad, what a legend, him and Jolene. Then gave us a good plug on their channel, you know, which has led to a lot of new followers. So thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, give us a like, let us know you're there. We're going to try and improve our content and make stuff that you guys enjoy watching. So today is get this thing, all the rust cut out of it so we can actually finish it. Me and Carlin are here, and basically we're just going to try and smash on this project and get it to be in a rolling car. After seeing the car show on the weekend and all the amazing cars there, I really want to get stuck back into the ute. I just want to do something custom. We've been playing with stock Volkswagens, even though we do a lot with them. I really want to do some custom work. And that ute's just begging. It's been sitting there for a year, haven't done a thing to it. So let's get this thing back on the ground, mount it back on its pan, maybe even driving. Let's see how we go.
Cool.
Righto, so I guess...
Do you want to roll the hand forward?
Yeah, let's pull it forward. It's fucking off out of our way. Oh, did you see the components for the beams? Did you see those things?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't got them here yet.
Oh, right, yeah.
They're there.
There, yeah.
So they're going to be pretty cool too.
Yeah, that's going to be wicked.
Still got to clean it up, but I want to dirty it before we get too far on it.
Yeah. So we're still going to get these other ones on the weekend?
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for Olmec to call me back.
Oh, yeah.
So I haven't 100%. Press that. Okay, so what you start with is a section that looks, well, exactly like this. I'm not exactly sure why these ones have 3 holes and the original ones have 4. I'm sure some of the ones I've done have had the 4th hole, but these are the ones I got. They're obviously a cheaper one. They're not the best quality thing you can get, but you know, this car is never going to be a, you know, a show car. I just want it to be functional and work. Okay, so obviously I want to chop as little out of the original car as possible, but I need to at least replace the whole hinge. I can't replace half the hinge, so I'm going to probably cut just a bit higher than the hinge through there, and I'll remove all that steel and bring it down the inside there, so it you know, so all this marries back in. I normally just kind of rough stuff out with a marker, just so I kind of have a rough idea of where I'm cutting, because once the sparks start flying, she's a bit tricky, but you know, it goes roughly like this. Mark there, do a mark there. Probably come down on a bit of an angle in here, take least out. You can always take more, that's one thing. I learned as being a carpenter, you can always take more. Yeah, I mean with steel it's a bit easier to put it back than timber, but you can always cut more out. It's a lot easier than putting more back, that's for sure. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'll bring you in, show you what I've done. So you can see I've just marked around there. It's just a rough line, it's nothing too accurate about it. Basically, I'm just going to hack that out with a grinder. Trying not to cut the inner. There's 2 parts to the hinge section, and then I'll start trying to fit the other bit in. Righto, so what I'll try and do is if I can unpeel the seam around there, the pinch, I do. I made this set of pliers for it. It's basically a set of carpenter's nips, because I'm a carpenter. And oh, you can't see it there, but I've filed off one side so it can actually get in there. I'll peel it out, you know, let's see if we can see it. Now I'm going to try and unpeel this seam here. I try and leave as much as the original steel in there as possible. I mean, I'm probably end up cutting it back to here. You can see, I mean, this thing's pretty good up there. They're actually just bits of tar, not pinholes. So I'll probably end up cutting that line, you know, somewhat down, you know, through there. I'll try and keep some of this original too, maybe. Just depends how rusty it gets. It is a bit shagged down there. So I'm going to basically try and unfold that pinch to get that out of there. All right, so we got it fitting fairly good there. It's not perfect, but look, nothing I do is. The inside, these things just don't seem to fit very well. Like if I run my straight edge down there, which I will do now just to show you. You know, that's straight, but you can still see it sits well off there. I've found I just have to belt that panel down a bit to get it to sit good. Look, other than that, I'm pretty happy. It's a little out. I'll probably end up having to pull that, push the heater channel out a little bit just to get into that point, because it all seems to, you know, how I've got it, it all seems to kind of line up pretty good. So I'll put a few tacks on it. I think I'm going to call it a night. Well, look, it's not pretty. I thought welding this thin stuff with a bit too big a wire, but I got it all in. I'll just give it a bit of a grind back. It should look pretty good.
How's it looking, mate?
Yeah, it's coming up pretty good. It's always a bit scary. It's thin shit. You don't want to grind through it, so you got to kind of make sure you leave a few lumps on there. You don't You don't want to take it through all the way through, but
So having it a bit proud's okay.
having it a bit proud. So I mean, it depends. If you're going for a concourse finish, yeah, you have it a bit proud, and then probably put a little skim over the top of it, you know. Or a lot of times, like what we're going to do there, there'll be a recess to weld in, so it's easy to put a skim over the top of it. But if you think people that are building fancy cars aren't putting bog in them, then you got another thing coming.
Oh, you're surely mistaken for sure.
But we're not going to be putting bog in this car. I can't see a point. We'll just spray it with a bit of primer, and we'll just blend her in with patina, you know, like, and it is what it is, you know. We're not looking for a show finish.
Preserving its character, eh?
Yeah, we're just making something that's drivable and fun, and I can tell you it's going to look hella cool. Oh, that would be why. So what we're doing here is we're just going to mark a line on the panel. These panels, they're not the best fitting panels, but they fit. They're going to fit good enough. So we're going to do a system where we actually swage in behind. We're not going to do a butt weld. We're going to do like a seam weld. So we've got a little crimper that crimps the steel up behind, and it just gives you something to weld the steel to, rather than trying to butt weld to air, which I always find a little bit tricky. We'll probably have to put a little bit of filler in it later just to kind of clean it up, but we just want a strong weld there. So Carlin's marking this thing up, get a rough cut on it, and then see if he can refine his kind of lines a bit better later. Like I always say, you can always take more off. Fucker. Yeah. That's my go-to that.
Oh yeah, it's a goodie, eh?
Yeah, just that point just to get in there. How's this side looking?
Yeah, it's getting there.
Okay, that looks like a repair.
It's getting there. Just got to pump this corner out.
Yeah, and it's got to come into there to that point, so it folds back into that.
Into that.
Yeah.
Does this lip fold back over?
Yeah, so that'll come back.
Oh, yeah.
Try and,
So I've made it so it sits.
so that'll come back to there. We're gonna have to hammer that back in and weld it.
Yeah. So that'll sit there.
It's got to come in about a little bit further if we can. There, that's where you want
Yeah.
it.
So I've made it so it sits like that.
Yeah.
And then that's right on that flange.
that tucks in there. Yeah, perfect. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so that'll just sit in there like that.
Yeah, and if that flange is a little bit low, it
doesn't matter because you're going to fill it with weld anyway.
It gives us a nice little valley to weld in, and I find that they come up real neat.
Yeah, so we just got to slice that off when we're up.
You can even do that after.
Yeah,
get
that's
a
what I
couple
was
of tacks
thinking.
in it. And,
get a couple of screws in it, a couple of tacks.
Yeah, I'll get a screw gun and we'll screw her in, eh?
We'll zip her up.
Righto, so we didn't want to get too far without trying a door. I had these set of doors I was planning on saving for another project. I mean, they're not great, but they're definitely repairable. But they're the old ice pick doors. But we tried fitting another set, and they don't fit. So we're going to run with these. Look, the gaps aren't perfect, but we've had this issue before. At least I know they fit. The hinge placement's okay, and we can go ahead with welding. Well, it won't be the first time I'm proven wrong. We thought these doors didn't fit, but we just tried them again just to check, and they do. So it looks like this car is going to get those doors with one piece. That one there from Carlin's collection. This one needs a little bit of work, but they're not rusty, which is good. It's had a bit of a chop out of it. So that's good. I'll be painting them up. We're going to try and do a patina match on those doors to this car. That'll be something you see us do later on. Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Trial fit one. See if she goes in. Start back a bit just so I can get the hinge spacing is good. Oh, jeez.
Perfect. Have a look at that. Hey?
Yeah, mate. No, that's about as good as it gets, really.
Yeah, that's
It's funny how the other one was a fight.
Yeah.
The other side was a real fight, and this one just boom, slipped straight in. So it just goes to show you, fellas, like,
they're not square from factory.
wow, this thing's been on 15 different pans, and we've chopped and changed channels. This is actually the second set of heater channels I've done on this side, because I pulled them out to put in the rack.
That's right, yeah.
I had a heater in this one, so
yep.
It's come out once. I've had an A-pillar in there, it's come out once. And it all fits.
Beautiful.
Pity I can't use them doors, but
nah.
look cool with one piece. This thing's gonna be a cartoon car.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's gonna look good with the ones, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh well, let's pull her out and get a few more welds on it. Oof, there's a little rust coming out of that. Oof.
Rust-oleum.
Nice. You giving up on the bungers?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, gone.
Carlin's giving her a little tidy up. He only nearly cut one of his fingers off today, so you know that's not too
Old
bad.
slice and dice.
Look, we've done pretty good for a day. The far side's in. We'll go around there and have a look. It's welded off. So she's all welded up and ground, completely finished. The inner, still got the outer to do there. This backside here, as we know, it's going to be fine. We're just going to weld it back. The other side, coming right around. The other side, I've just got this little repair to do here. It's only a small little repair job. The front, I've done the A-pillar. It's welded off, completely welded, just needs a bit of a grind up. It looks pretty good. We know the door fits there. We've trial fitted the door, which is awesome. Nothing worse than getting to the end and go, holy crap, we didn't do the door. This is all tacked in. Still a bit of work to do there. I'm not going to say that's done, but you know, it's not a heck of a lot. That just welds in. This just pinches over, folds over and squishes. We'll weld this. I'll cut this back here so we keep the original. The reproduction bits, they don't quite wrap around as nicely as the originals. Weld that off. I'll drill a few spots down the bottom here once we zip the bottom of this section off. As I said, these sections are for a complete pillar heater channel repair, but we cut them off in this line here, and it kind of comes around to the front there, and I just spot weld that through, so that's how the original was. Still got that section to do, but yeah. Well fellas, that's the end of the day. We've had a good success here today, pretty happy with how we're done. Some first timers for Carlin. Carlin's kind of learning how to do a bit of panel work and, you know, mainly rust repair. He's real good at engines. Carlin's specialty is engines. You'll probably see some of that later on. You saw him help me build the turbo engine, which ended up with twin carbs on it. And we've got a couple more engines over here to build. But that's going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a like.
Share it with your friends.
Share it with your friends. Comment. You know, let us know how you're going.
Interact with us. You know?
We'll look at all the comments and we'll answer them too. And so we'd like to know what you guys like, and God forbid there's something you don't like. Anyway, that's us over and out. Catch you later.
See you guys.